dwindle them down. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Dwindle them down. We set off on this 2-man kayak for this island, this remote island off in the distance. To me, didn't seem that unobtainable. Like, it didn't seem too far away. Immediately when we started paddling, I'm like, oh fuck, this thing is a heck of far away.
Yeah, because it was huge. It was so big.
Like right about when we got maybe a fourth of the way there, you just shut down, didn't say a word. And I'm like, oh, he's just probably tired, because we were working, like we were really grinding, getting across the ocean. And then I think halfway through, you were like, man, I got to be honest, I'm terrified right now. I'm absolutely terrified.
Yeah. So, like, open water, deep water, I've learned very quickly on that trip specifically, that is a massive fear of mine. So terrified. You could just see how deep the water was because of the color of it. I'm like, who knows what's down there? I don't want to know, but I don't want it to come up and like eat me. Very irrational. Incredibly irrational.
There's nothing down there that's going to come up and eat you.
No, not whatsoever. Just for the record, we have 25 minutes before we get cut off.
I wish it was 69. What number?
I'm here and laughing at the other person that's laughing.
What other person? I'm the only one here.
But yeah, so you find out that I'm terrified and not mad at you because you at one point you're like, I thought you hated me for putting me into this. Yeah. It's like, not mad at all. I was just like, let's hurry up and get there so I don't have to be sitting on top of like Godzilla or something right now, because he could come out and eat me.
Well, Godzilla is more of a terrestrial creature. He's not amphibious, so.
Well, doesn't he live in the ocean?
Is he amphibious? He actually might be amphibious.
He lives in the ocean.
He might be a water-dwelling creature.
He comes out of the ocean.
He might do both. I'm not up on my Godzilla.
Yeah, we'll get there. There'll be another. We'll do like folklore night one night.
Folklore.
Jaws. Yeah, Dad. Exactly. Jaws. I was afraid of Jaws. But we had some really good conversation in that canoe, in that kayak, because we were in it for like it felt like hours. It was an hour or two.
It might have been 2 hours. Like, it was a long time. We were just digging. And the messed up thing was we had to go back.
I know. And so we got to the island, we were chilling. Like, there was this charter captain, this charter boat came up, and he was like, yeah, I got a bunch of old people that are they're paying me to take them to these islands. So we had this island to ourselves, this side of the island to ourselves for a hot minute. And then this charter boat came in with all these old people, and the guy came over and was telling us stories about whatever. I remember getting bit by a bunch of little fish or little like sand mites. I don't know if you remember that. Just sitting in the shallow water. I remember like things biting me.
Yeah, no, it was there was beach bugs or some sort of in the sand. It sucked, but
it was hard to relax.
But we were snorkeling there. It was fantastic. And it was the island, besides the two other guys who left. It was all to ourselves.
That's right. So
we circumnavigated the thing.
Yeah. When you said that, you're like, let's do it. I'm like, for one, I'm going to be out on open water for at least another 30, 40 minutes longer than I want to be. But I'm like, whatever, we'll do it. Took forever because on the other side was straight up. There were no other islands beyond that. So it was just straight up open ocean. And we were fighting the current like nobody's business.
That's what I do. I fight currents all the time.
Fight currents. So we made it around and we started going back. And the tide was one. The tide. Shut up. Boo. The tide was going out. So we were fighting against like paddling in. And as we got in closer and closer, we couldn't get all the way to the shore. Like we couldn't get the kayak back to where we dropped it off at because there was no water.
We're 2 hours into just really all upper body. Our legs are cramped because they're not moved in this double kayak. The tide's going out, so we're fighting that. It starts raining. We had to portage, if you know what portaging is. I'm sure you do. We had to portage our kayak for a good amount of land, and I think halfway we just kind of put it down, like let's go eat lunch.
That's right. We just left it.
We left it in
I forgot.
the beach, I guess, because it was. I mean, it's still Yeah. So we left it, went to go get beers and food, and then we came back out all fat and happy, and then we just went to where we rented it. And I remember I went to the guy and say, "Hey man, do you remember that? Do you remember that kayak you rented us?" And he goes, "See, I don't know why he's speaking Spanish, but he says
Yeah,
fake." And I'm like, "Well, it's over there."
yeah.
And he comes out from the tent and he just goes, "Oh," and I'm like, if you want it, it's there." So
Oh, it was such a horrible thing to do, but
yeah, that's it.
oh, it
We
was
were
so funny.
just so wiped out.
Yeah, yeah, we were
I think we gave him
dead.
some money
Yeah,
as consolation or something, but
yeah. Oh,
I
it
was
was
not gonna, dude.
so
I wasn't
far
gonna
away.
carry it.
No.
I was so tired, and
Yeah.
it was raining, and I just wanted to not do that.
Well,
So I did.
the kayak was super heavy, and there was no like there's no good handles.
Yep,
Like it killed the
it
hands.
sucked to carry.
So we're just like, well, we'll leave it here. And yeah, I remember you pointed. It's over there. Go get it if you want
There it
it.
is. You want your
Yeah,
kayak?
that was
Okay.
a that was that was a horrible thing to do, which might have been karma for what happened to us next.
Well, Jody, what happened next?
So what happens next is we go have a nice, like we go hang out at the hostel. Um, we were gonna have a night in, but those guys that we were hanging out with, the people that we met, like come out for one last hurrah. When we kept in mind that we had to be up by like 7 or something, we were catching a
Oh,
ferry at 7, or it was like
right.
we had a crack of dawn wake up call, and we're like, well, we'll go out for just for a hot second, enjoy a little bit with our friends. I don't remember when we got back, um, but it was late, and I remember like just eating a bunch of food and then falling asleep. I think you were up for a little bit longer, but
I do not remember a
we
thing.
we reconvened in the morning. You got up, stumbled out, went to the bathroom. Do you remember what you did? You
Uh,
you came
no.
back. You came back, and you're like, Jordy, I pooped my pants.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I swear, I swear, I swear.
Oh, did I shit
Yeah,
myself?
you did, and then you threw your boxers in the toilet.
Okay, that was the second time in my life I've done that. Then I only thought, dude, I didn't remember that at all.
Oh, I remember it. I remember it.
Glad that's all over the internet.
So I wasn't feeling too hot, but you were way, way off.
That was one of the worst hangovers I've ever had. It was legitimately alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, it was really, really bad because we then had to get to the um, we had to get to the tuk-tuk that was going to get us to the ferry, right?
Yeah.
So you were just like slouched. I don't even know how your body was doing what it was doing, but you were barely hanging on there, and I'm just trying to like
This
guide
was
you.
this is worse than the Peruvian one
Yeah, yeah, you were,
by
man, you were
a little bit.
gone. You were just so gone, and
It was pure alcohol poisoning.
yeah, yeah, it was bad. Um, but we made it. We got to the ferry just fine. I didn't really see you. I think you might have been in the toilet the entire time. I don't
Yeah, that
know. I
sounds.
didn't see you at all because we had seats right next to each other, and you weren't there. Um, so I don't know what happened, but made it to the island of I don't actually know the name of the island, but we were headed to Coron, which is
Yes.
where um, we
Can
went
I
and got
tell
our.
you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This this is great because now it's this part starts to come back to me. So yeah, that whole morning don't remember the boat ride over. I do, however, remember landing and disembarking the
Yeah.
boat because myself, you, and a young lady were picked up like in the cab where we were all
Oh,
going to our. And I said,
right.
and she was like, she was pretty attractive. I was like, Jordy, you gotta you gotta ride up front with her. And you're like, what? I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure like I smell like shit. I look like shit. I feel awful. Just let me ride in like essentially the trunk of this whatever kind of vehicle it was.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Um, and good thing too, because I was in no shape to talk to anybody that day. I remember we had gotten so I had booked us a spot on this hostel on this island. It was great for diving. It was a good kickoff point. But the rest of that day was pretty much me on my bed, not moving, essentially being just dead.
Right. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And even the next day, because the next day was when we were supposed to start our scuba diving classes, but we were both still like not with it. Like I had started coming down with like a cold or something.
Did
You were
we
still
postpone or something?
We postponed another day. Yeah. And the guy was like, that's totally fine. That still gave us 2 days of diving and then a day to relax before we left to go home.
Right. So that night though, I recovered enough. We had dinner down at like the little grotto, and the same girl that had taken the ride in with us was eating dinner alone.
Yeah.
So when we were finished, I was like, Jordy, just go up to the room. I'm gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
So I went up, like I wanted to ask her out, like to see if she wanted to have dinner tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So I went up to her after you'd gone, and I was like, hey, I see you're eating alone. Maybe you want to have dinner with me tomorrow night. And she goes, are you the guy from the car?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you rode in with me and the other guy, right? Your friend? I was like, yeah. She's like, are you all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I was just having a bad day, like a little cocktail flu. She's like, she's German, so it was, you know,
yeah.
Lost translation. Everything was fine, and we had dinner. She's a lovely girl. That whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. Like she's like, "Are you alive?"
Dude, yeah, you were like, you're already pretty pale, but you were like translucent for about a day and a half.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
I got you. We got 15 minutes left, which is perfect because now we're kind of at the point of this whole trip, which was to learn how to scuba dive. Right. So after a day and a half of recovering and just hanging out by the pool, reading, relaxing, enjoying the sun, and whatever, we met up with Mark. His name was Mark. Dude, I don't even remember where he's from, but
Philly.
He might have been. Was he?
I don't know. I remember that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Mark from Philly, and then.
But it should be stated that we didn't want to. If we were going to go get our divers. License, what is it? Not license.
Certification.
Certification.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it in a goddamn pool in whatever.
Right.
In California. That's stupid.
Right.
Like, well, let's go to the Philippines and do it. I would highly recommend that to anybody. If you're going to learn how to scuba dive, learn in an amazing place. So that's the Philippines for sure.
Right, and the course actually ended up being like $300 or something. It was really cheap.
That was another thing. Crazy.
Granted, it took a lot to get there, so it ended. But we, you pack it in with a bunch of other experiences, and then it's totally validated. But yeah, so we met with Mark. I remember one of the first things we did after like getting our tanks on and jumping out of the boat was we get in. We were like at this little shallow water doing our first set of like skills. He's like, all right, so it's jellyfish season, and there's a lot of box jellyfish around here. And I'm like, I don't know what you were thinking. I'm like, great, perfect. So he would be like instructing us with whatever, and then he'd be like, 1 second, and then stick his face under the water and look to see if we're clear, and then come back up, and we would continue on with the lesson.
Like that would do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the first couple hours. It was just the two of us and him. So it was like a private lesson. The dude loved us because, I mean, who wouldn't? We're pretty amazing. We had some really, we dove. We did a couple like shore dives. We did we dove through or like around three shipwrecks, right?
Yeah.
World War
the third one, he took us down. He was like, we shouldn't do this because you don't know how to dive, but we're doing it.
We're doing it, yeah. Which that one was the one that freaked me out the most.
Right. Let's go over that for a second because we both had the same thing going on. I'll let you go.
I remember jumping in. So this was like some of the other dives we had done. It was pretty chill because we were you could see the shore from where we were at. This was straight up out in the middle of like this bay area, like whatever, there was nothing. Bay Area. There's nothing close to us, but we jump in and we start. There's a rope going down into the bottom of the ocean where you can't see where it's going because of like like the visuals were just like really low.
Imagine a rope going down into the ocean, and you don't know where it ends; it just goes into blackness.
Yeah,
So